Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference Tournament Semifinal here on the campus of Hanover College. Today we have the number 2 seed, Hanover College, playing the number 3 seed, Rose-Hulman. The two teams tied in the regular season with a 7-1-1 conference record and met just this past Saturday and tied with a 0-0 contest. 4 out of the last 7 meetings between these two sides has come to a draw, including the 2015 Conference Tournament Championship, which was also held here on our campus. Rose-Hulman won that one in penalty kicks, 4-3. And last year, the two teams met again in the championship match, this time at Rose-Hulman, with Hanover pulling off a 1-0 win.
Hello, this is Michael Hedges, and I'm here with Tyler Jestert. And today we're going to read the starters for Rose-Hulman. Number 4, Michael Simmons. Number 5, Ethan Butler. Number 6, Will McGowan. 10, Austin Webb. 12, Lucas Kirsten. Number 16, Davis Farrell. Number 20, Kobe Illen. Number 22, Trevor Bednark. Number 23, Carter Wright. 24, Turner Perkins. And 26, Eric Easton. Starters for Hanover will be number 1, Will Bedell. Number 2, Thomas Doring. Number 3, Chris Petrie. Number 6, Will Bridgman. Number 7, Dominic Isidore. Number 8, Nicholas Ash. 11, Michael Dumaine. Number 14, Ryan Keeney. 17, Miles Joseph. 20, Zach Barnes. All right.
And we're underway here at the Hanover Panther Athletic Complex for this tournament semifinal match.
All right, Hanover throws the ball up the right side of the field. Headed out of bounds by number 14, Ryan Keeney.
Our goalkeeper is Will Beadle.
Attempt by Rose-Hulman to throw the ball in, headed back out by number 8. Hanover number 11 throws it up the right side of the field. A mishead on Hanover, and it's kicked away by Rose-Hulman's defender. Hanover number 11, Michael Domaine, throwing it up the right side field. Hanover switches over to the left side. Right now, Rose-Hulman's defense keeping the ball away from Hanover. Hanover finally reaching towards the... Right now we have Hanover and Rose-Hulman just kicking it back and forth in Rose-Hulman's territory. Both teams having a hard time keeping the ball. It's a foul. A foul on Hanover. The ball's going to give the ball to Rose Hulman. Number 22 for Rose Hulman kicks it up the left side of the field. Hanover's defense struggles to keep them out of scoring position. Hanover finally gets their feet on it, kicking it up. And Rose Hulman will retreat. Switching it over to the right field. Hanover's defense interjects, taking it up the field and kicking it far up right field. Rose Hulman's goalkeeper will kick it out of bounds. Hanover throws it in. Intercepted by Rose Hulman periodically. And we're back to the back and forth in Rose Hulman territory. Ball crosses over to the left side of the field. Header by Hanover defense, but quickly recovered back by Rose Hulman. And then recovered again by Hanover defense. Forwards trying to bring it up back into Rose Hulman territory. And a kick by Rose Hulman will be scooped up by Hanover's goalie, Will Beadle. Goalie will kick it high up where neither team will be able to get the first touch. It bounces. Hanover controls the ball right now on the right side of the field. Crossing it straight to the middle. There was an intent by Hanover to feed one of its forwards, but it was scooped up by Rose Hulman's goalie. Yeah, I see that.
Because theirs is like way down here.
Ooh. Ball kicked out of bounds by the forward from Rose Hulman. Hanover continues to feed it up the right side, trying to get close to make a goal. Across to the mid, to the left. Hulman will fight the ball up the left side until Hanover defender will kick it out. Hanover College defense recovers it, feeds it up the middle where it will be lost to Rose Hulman, who will kick it far up and out of bounds in Hanover territory. Hanover College's goalie, Will Beadle, will set the ball on the left side and prepare to kick it up to his forward. Hanover gets the first touch with the head. Questionable arm touch by Rose Hulman, but it wasn't caught. Hanover defense was lucky enough to kick the ball off of one of Rose Hulman's forwards, knocking it out of bounds. Will be Hanover ball. Both teams struggling to keep control of the ball on both sides of the field. Good clear by Rose Hulman with a header from Hanover. Rose Hulman will control the ball on the right side of the field. Number 4 will pass back to number 26. We'll feed it up the right side. Received by number 6 by Rose Hulman. And kicked out of bounds on the right side of the field. Hanover ball. Both teams working hard to feed it up on the right sideline, trying to cross it to the left to find somebody open for the shot. Hulman will cross it over back to the right field, but continue to find no luck, kicking the ball out of bounds where Will Beadle will take the ball. Ball continues to be passed back and forth between Hanover defense on the left side, crossing over to the right. Ahead by Rose Hulman will prevent any forward progression towards the goal. Kicked up and out of bounds on the right side by Rose Hulman. Hanover ball. Number 11, Dumaine, will feed it up the right side. Headed by Rose Hulman, number 12. Pass back to the defense and back up the right side. Will be received by Rose Hulman's number 6. Pass back to their defense. They will hold on to the possession. A trip. Hanover continues to find space on the right side of the field. Hanover defense doing a little bit of back and forth from the mid to the right. Hanover continue taking it up the right, feeding it to the middle, trying to find somebody who can make some space. Number 11, Dumaine, was in position to score, trying to pass back to one of his fellow teammates, loses control of the ball. Rose Hulman will take control, fighting for it. Ooh, nice slide tackle by Rose Hulman will prevent the opportunity for Hanover to score. They're deep in the right corner. Will be penalty on Hanover. A fight between Rose Hulman and Hanover in the corner, trying to get control of the ball. Goalkeeper Carter Wright for Rose Hulman. The ball up the right side, received by head from Rose Hulman. Pass back to defense. Attempt by forward number 10 for Rose Hulman, trying to get control, but it was lost by an interception through Hanover defense up the left side of the field. Kicked high kick up by Rose Hulman, received by the head of Hanover, intercepted by Rose Hulman. Will be kicked out of bounds by the defense of Hanover in Hanover territory on the left side of the field. All right. Goal kick by Rose Hulman. No goal. Hanover's goalkeeper, Beadle, will position his men, get ready to kick it up the left side of the field. Headed by Rose Hulman. They will continue to keep control. Hanover feeding the ball to the middle and back to the left. Trying to make space. We've got space on the right side. Feed up. And we're taking it to the deep right corner where they will set up for a corner kick. Corner kick will be taken by number 20, Zach Barnes.
Here it comes.
Kick is on his way. Met by the feet of Rose Hulman. Kicked over and out of bounds on the right side of the field. Hanover ball. Number 11, Dumaine, into the feet. And back to Dumaine, who will receive a penalty on the play. No, a penalty on Rose Hulman. It will continue to be Hanover College's ball. Bridgman kicks it in from the right side up to the middle. Hanover couldn't quite get a hold of it. Back to Bridgman, kicking it straight into one of Rose Hulman's defenders. Both teams right now struggling, trying to find the necessary space to score. Hulman will kick it up the left side. Will meet the feet of one of Hanover's defenders. Chance for Hanover goalies temporarily knocked down, but their chance to score was lost when one of Hanover's defenders kicked it up the left side. It will continue to be, they're going to recall it's going to be a penalty for roughing up the goal kicker. It'll be Hanover ball. Hanover refusing to clear the ball just with their defense, trying to work it up, losing it to Rose Hulman in Hanover territory. Back over to the right side. Both teams playing heavy right now on the right side. And out of bounds. A goal kick by Rose Hulman. Goalie cleared up the middle. Where it was met by one of the head by Rose Hulman. Kicked out of bounds on the right side by Hanover defense, number 11, Dumaine. Thrown in, met by one of the heads, Rose Hulman, and a call on Hanover. In their own territory, the ball will be set by Rose Hulman's number 10, Austin Webb. Hulman's team will be in position on the left side of the field, setting up a little bit similar to a corner. Rose Holman's team members met it with his foot, but it was just a little bit on the outside of the goal, and it would roll out of bounds, goal kick, Hanover ball. Right now we are 27 minutes left in the first half of this game. Hanover struggling to keep control on the right side. Intercepted by Rose Holman. Engineers will lose it. Hanover will continue to kick the ball up the right side, up to number 8. Attempt deflected by Rose Holman. The goalie will scoop it up and wait for his team to go down the field. Goalie's kick was met by one of Rosenlund's head, then one of Hanover's. Kicked out of bounds, and a corner kick for Rose Holman on the right side of the field. Engineers number 10, Webb, will take the corner. Wait for the kick. It's up. Met with the head one of the Rose Holmans, and a barely saved by Hanover's goalie. Just managed to touch it and suspended enough time for one of Hanover's defenders to kick it out and about up to left or right side of the field. Number 7 will attempt to clear, but will meet the ankles of Rose Holman's number 4 and go out of bounds. Hanover ball. Dumaine will prepare to throw it. Number 9, a substitution in for number 14 for Hanover. That'll be Tanner Korfhagen in for Ryan Keeney. Dumaine up the right side of the field. Rose Holman will continue to kick it out of bounds. Dumaine trying to throw it in. One of his teammates just missing, meeting the head of one of Rose Holman's. A crossover to the left side by Hanover. Hanover Colleges continue to feed it back and forth on the left side, trying to create space, trying to avoid Rose Holman, who's doing a good job at disrupting their offense. Up the right side and out of bounds off the foot of one of Hanover's defenders. It'll be Rose Holman ball. Number 16 for Rose Holman will be throwing it in. That'd be Farrell. A throw in, quickly deflected back out of bounds by Hanover. 16 will continue to try to throw it in to one of his teammates. Finally meeting the feet of one of his forwards. Kick to the goal, but met by one of the heads of Hanover's defenders and back out of bounds. The ball will remain to be with Rose Holman on the right side of the field. A goal, a quick shot by number 10, but blocked by the goalie. Beetle will kick it up midfield, met by Rose Holman's number 12's feet, who continues to drive the ball up to his teammates onto the left side. Little back and forth, a crossover to the right. Number 16 who will feed it and meet the feet of Hanover defender. One of Hanover defenders saving the ball from going out of bounds to becoming a corner. It will be Rose Hulman ball. On the right side, it will be number 16 throwing it in. Rose Hulman controlling the ball right now. Both teams relying on that right side, trying to figure out a way to cross it in. Neither team being able to free up either one of their forwards to make the shot. Hanover ball. Hanover's goalie Beetle will feed it up to the left side, met by a mixture of Hanover and Rose Hulman's. Neither team successful right now controlling the ball. Attempt to cross, but met by the feet by one of Hanover's defenders. It will be a corner kick on the left side. Who will be kicking the corner is number 10 of Rose Hulman. Austin Webb. Ooh, ball just barely bouncing off one of the heads of one of Hanover's forwards, and then met the feet by Rose Hulman, who attempted goal kick but missed the goal out of bounds. It will be Hanover ball. We're almost down to the 20-minute mark in this first half. Crossover by Rose Hulman to the right side of the field. Met by the feet of number 16 up number 4. A penalty on Hanover. The ball will stay with Rose Hulman. As they set up for a kick a little too close to Hanover's territory. Hanover will set up a wall attempting to block this kick. Ooh. A goal kick taken by number 10 for Rose Hulman. Austin Webb. No prevail. It'll be knocked out. It'll just barely graze one of Hanover's players. It'll be a right side corner kick taken by number 10 as well as they set up and get ready. Crossing it, meeting the heads of one of Hanover's defenders. Hulman trying to secure the ball with a header, but will knock it out of bounds. Ball will belong to Hanover's goalkeeper, who will set it up to kick it straight up the right side of the field. Both teams right now struggling to keep control in the middle of the field. To the right. High kick on Rose Hulman up the right side of the field, where it's met by one of Hanover's defenders, who will clear it. Out of bounds. Rose Hulman ball. 16 will throw in. We'll meet number 4. And the Engineers back to number 6. Back to the defense of Rose Hulman, who will cross it over the left side of the field. A quick interception by Hanover will be kicked out of bounds. Ball secured by Hanover's defense. Someone tried to take it straight up the middle. A little track jam will be kicked and reflected off of one of Hanover College's players' feet, and it will be a corner on the left side by number 10, Austin Webb. Will be taking the corner shot for Rose Hulman. Sets up for the corner kick. Attempt headed by 26 for Rose Hulman. 16 and 21 are in for number 12 and 7 Hanover. That would be Renato Yasui and Brad Simpson into the game with almost 15 minutes left in this first half. Right now, both teams are successfully feeding the ball up the right side of both their sides of the field, but neither one being successful controlling the ball within the middle. A close goal kick by Rose Hulman. The goalie will barely just deflect it out of bounds. So it will be a corner kick for Rose Hulman, taken by number 10, Austin Webb.
That's an easy name to remember because he does everything.
Oh! 24 for Rose Hulman. This will make a shot straight from the middle in Hanover territory, up past the goalie. The Engineers are the first with the points on the board. It will be 1-0 with 14 minutes and 40 seconds left in this first half. That'll be Turner Perkins' first goal of the season, and a good one. Right up the middle of the field, right past the goalie. Hanover will try to recover, passing it over to the right field to the defense. Not really switching up their tactics just yet. Still trying to feed it up the right and find someone who can make space in the middle. Rose Hulman will continue to keep the ball on the left side of Rose Hulman of the Engineers' territory, knowing that it's Hanover's weaker side. Be kicked out of bounds by Hanover on the left side. It will be Rose Hulman ball. Thrown in by the feet of one of Hanover's players. Back to Rose Hulman. Rose Hulman driving it up the left side. Stopped by Hanover defenders. Taking it and clearing it. It will be Rose Hulman ball. Met by the head and out of bounds. It will be back to Hanover. It's off the head of number 20 of Rose Hulman. Throwing back in Hanover's. Up the mid. Feeding and meeting the feet of Rose Hulman, who clear it. Back to the defense to Hanover. Continue feeding it up to the right side, number 3. Petrie, who feeds it up the middle, number 9, trying to find space. Take a shot. It's a 16, taking a shot on the goal, but will be easily scooped up by Rose Hulman's goalie. That'll be Rose Hulman's goalie, number 23, Carter Wright. Rose Hulman will lose it on the right side. It'll be back to Hanover. Domain will set up to be ready to throw it in. Back to the head of one of Hanover's forwards, to the feet of Rose Hulman, up the middle, where Hanover's defense will recover it, cross it back over to the right side. Number 17, Miles Joseph, feeding it up to Hanover, number 9, Corfhagen, who will lose the ball. Rose Hulman trying to attempt to clear it. Not quite. To the middle, back to Miles. Penalty, Rose Hulman. It will be Hanover ball as they set up in the middle of the field in engineer territory. That would be number 6, Will Bridgman, taking the kick. Bridgman set. Straight over and a goal kick out of bounds. Engineer ball. We are almost down to the final 10 minutes of the first half, and right now the score is Rose Hulman 1, Hanover 0. On the left side, one of Hanover's defenders back up, rolling off of Rose Hulman, and a penalty. Figure out what the ref's going to say. Somebody's calling for a card, and he's going to give it. We stop the clock. Right now, the time is stopped. Referee's calling. Looks like he's talking to number 26, Rose Hulman, number 9 of Hanover, giving a warning to number 26. Goalie 23, Carter Wright for Rose Hulman will come up and clear the ball up the left side of the field, where it will meet ahead of one of Hanover's players who will attempt to clear it. Kicked far up left side, met feet by one of Rose Hulman's. Crossed over to the right side of the field, number 16. Crossover, met the feet of one of Hanover's mids. Hanover continue to control it in the middle of the field. Back to Joseph. Hanover's 31 will recover the ball, control it, passing it back up to the middle where it was lost. Engineers will control it. Kicking it far up to the right side of the field. No one will meet it. It will be out of bounds, Hanover ball. The clock was stopped again. We've got some conflict right now going on. Let's find out who. Ref was warning some players to calm it down. Hulman will control the ball on the left side of the field. Up.
I'm assuming he stopped it again.
Someone stop, and it looks like number 4 of Hanover will receive a yellow card. Evan Stacy talking too much at the ref. Number 4 was Hulman. My apologies. Number 4 was Hulman. Michael Simmons will get.
They're saying Michael Dumaine got the card.
Okay. All right, my bad. After all the confusion, it'll be number 11 of Hanover who did get the yellow card. Michael Dumaine for talking. A warning from the official. Telling him to watch his mouth. Be a fight between Hanover and Rose Hulman, but it will come out. Rose Hulman ball for a corner. On the left side, it will be taken by number 10, Webb, who sets up, prepares for this corner kick. Now, last time, the corner kick was successful. Turner Perkins was the last one to score in the last corner kick. No score this time as Hanover's forward will kick it far out to the right side, out of bounds. Engineer ball. We're bound down to 7 minutes in this first half. Cleared out again by Hanover. Still remains Engineer's ball. In off of one of clock stopped again. We have somebody off the field getting called out and getting yelled up. It's the ref. Matt Eldridge, assistant coach for Hanover, will be receiving
Yellow cards to our team, both on assistant coaches.
both assistant coaches from Hanover receiving yellow for correcting and yelling at the referee on the field. And he's having none of it tonight or today. For those who are not familiar, yellow cards are just warnings, but they are vital. After somebody yellow, you will receive a red, and a red is a suspension from 1 game. Never really needs to cool it down. Still waiting for the time to start back up. Time right now, 5:38 in the first half. Ref insisting that Hanover's bench quiet down so we can continue the game. Ball will remain with Hanover, who set it on the right side. Whenever number 11, Dumaine, will wait for the ref to set the ball. Ref putting the ball back in play, and here we're off again on the left side of met by Hanover's defenders. Head up they're going to cross it up the right side. Number 31 to number 9, who will lose it. Number 10 to the Engineers, who control it on the right side of the field. Number 4 attempting to a quick pitch back up to number 4, and another penalty on the play against number 6 of Rose Hulman, Will McGowan. Hanover ball. Hanover's keeper, Will Beadle, will set it. Prepare to kick it off. It will go up to the middle of the left side of the field, where we'll miss 2 Hanover College players, finally meeting the feet, and a penalty called on Hanover. Number 9, Corvahagen. Engineers goalie Wright set it, clearing it up to the left side of the field, where missed both teams. Finally met by the chest of one of Hanover's defenders. Neither team successfully controlling the ball right now, with only 4.5 minutes left in this first half. The score being Rose Hulman 1 and Hanover 0. Rose Hulman will lose it on the right side of the field. One Dame will take it, but number 4 will kick it out of bounds. Hanover ball. This number 4, Michael Simmons from Rosenball. Rose Hulman. Number 31 of Hanover trying to settle and take control on the right side of the field. Will kick it. Will be stopped. Rose Hulman's goalie Right. Wait for the field to get clear. Cleared straight up the middle, where it meets the feed number 10. With it cleared again by Hanover defense off the head. Ooh, meaning the feed just scooped up, where it'll be scooped up by the Engineers goalie. And once again, he'll wait while his players clear the field. This time a kick up the right side. Meet the head of Hanover's players. Back to the chest of Rose Hulman. Back to the right, number 4. Who feed it to number 10. Back to 4. Off the chest of number 17. Out of bounds. Hanover ball. Back to 17. Joseph, who's feed it up the right side. Meet the feed number 12. Someone will fight the ball over to the left side of the field. Back to the right. Number 12. And a clear by Hanover defense with nobody down. It's a foot race that the Engineers will win in a offsides from Hanover, number 24, Christopher Rowe. Right now the ball will stay with number 16 of Rose Holman, will throw it in. A fight between a Hanover ball. Out of bounds off of number 10. My bad, it was a penalty. Hanover ball up the middle. Got 1 minute remaining in the first half, and it's still 1-0. Rose Holman leading. Hanover will keep the ball in the middle, trying to find some space. The number 16 on the right side, who will clear it up the left, trying to feed it, but it will meet the head of one of the engineers, who will clear it up the left side. And far down the left side, where Hanover's goalie will have to retrieve it. We'll cross it over the right to number 17, Joseph. Hanover's defense will control the ball on the left side of the field and try to keep control for the remaining 10 seconds of the game, of the first half of the game.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Kick far down the left side of the field.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That will be a wrap for the first half. It's Rose Holman's Fighting Engineer versus Hanover College Panthers at the Hanover College complex. Right now, the score is 1-0 with Hanover trailing behind Rose Holman.
Hanover College is known for its beautiful landscapes and rolling hills. But to check out everything that the campus has to offer, you have to see the Dr. Darrell Carnes Historical Hiking Trails.
Today we're going to be hiking the hills to try to find some of its hidden treasures.
So grab a friend
And a hiking stick.
and let's hit the trails. With 4 trails winding through Hanover's 650 acres, you'll find a place to hike whether it's your first time or you're a seasoned hiker. You can see sweeping valleys and enjoy the shade of the lush canopy overhead. You might chance upon one of Hanover's 3 waterfalls. Don't forget your hiking boots, you'll need them to climb the hills.
Hanover College was founded in 1827, and since that time, students continue to use the Crow Valley Trail. Students in the 1800s would port on the Ohio River, then take their possessions and books, climb the steep hillside steps, making their way to the school.
That's where the students had to go to get to class, and they're still there. It's well preserved. It makes the campus that much more beautiful.
During the freshman orientation, new students recreate the hike as a way of connecting with Hanover's long history.
Scattered along the Darrell Carnes hiking trail are many bonfire pits and unofficial camping sites where hikers can take a moment to appreciate all of the natural beauty around them. There are many historical artifacts and memorials. You may even want to set up camp here with your friends, but there are a few things you should know before using an unofficial camping site.
There's nothing in there, so we have to gather up some kindling, some dry wood. Can't do it after it rains, obviously, because the wood's going to be too wet. And usually bring some paper of our own, lighters or matches. And you start a fire, everybody gathers around and tells stories. Sometimes we bring marshmallows or hot dogs and have ourselves a little roast.
You can see many different animals while hiking along the trail, such as the American toad, which is typically 2 to 3 inches long and either gray or brown. Hikers can also go bird watching. Rocks and down trees are ideal spots to find snakes because snakes are ectothermic and will be looking for moist, shady areas to cool down on a hot, sunny day.
This is actually known for the Darrell Carnes Historical Trail. He was known as a herpetologist. So if you're into snake hunting like I am and you like herpetology, this is a good trail to come check out.
The beautiful natural wildlife on the Darrell Carnes Memorial Trail is being threatened by invasive species not native to the area. This garlic mustard plant came from Europe in the 1800s for culinary and medicinal purposes. It can grow up to 4 feet tall.
The problem with invasive species is that they crowd out species of plants that are supposed to be here, and so that we don't have our natural historical vegetation, we lose some of the diversity that makes this place special.
For serious hikers, there are plenty of waterfalls just off the trail to see up close.
If you go down the Natural History Trail and you take a left, you'll end up at Horseshoe Falls, and it's definitely worth the hike.
Horseshoe Falls in particular is a tricky hike, and it is a dead end, so you're going to have to come out of the falls the same way you came in. Be careful, it's a slippery track, but when you see the falls in person, time stops.
Hanover College is known for its beauty, but the real meaning of beauty is shown when disaster strikes. Many parts of the forest were torn apart when a deadly tornado ripped through Hanover in 1974. But today, new trees have replaced the old trees, which are still scattered throughout the forest.
A good part about the trails is that you see these fallen trees and that you see that something this catastrophic has happened to this small community.
So now, as hikers walk by and see these damaged trees, they remember the tragedy that took place in 1971. We don't know why tragedies like this occur, but nature always finds a way to recover. As we've seen through our hike through the hills of Hanover, there are many different trails to run, wildlife to be seen, and winding creeks to follow. This is part of what makes Hanover different from other college campuses. The tranquil scene at Hanover makes for a great way to escape for a break on a busy day.
Here we are at the end of our scenic hike here at Hanover.
It was a long trip, but I think it was worth it.
Definitely. Hanover has a lot of beautiful nature trails to look at.
I think my favorite part was all the waterfalls that we have here. It's so cool how many we have on campus.
Right, and I really enjoyed the view from Scenic Hill.
You guys can see everything that we saw and more. Just come on down to the Dr. Darrell Carnes Historical Hiking Trails.
There you go, run, baby.
That's a great ball.
How to get the most bang for your euro.
It means a lot more.
When are you going to tell your mom?
Let's get it on.
Thanks for joining me, Marcy.
Thank you for having me.
Hello there. At the Duggan Library, we're making vast expansions into the crazy world of cyberspace. Yes, we now provide numerous useful online resources and services. Studying for that latter course that you have absolutely no grasp on? Check out our LibGuides that offer direction and information for specific major courses. Maybe even that one that you're struggling with right now. Doing a research paper? Pow! We have dozens of the best research databases in the world at the click of your mouse. And if you're away from the library, you can even chat online with one of our dutiful librarians who are here to serve you. Yes, we have a lot of books. What does this all mean, you might ask? It means that all you lazy bums out there can do this from your very own computer. It also means that I don't have to wear pants to work.
Madison, Indiana. This town is beautiful, historical, and has some of the best businesses in the state of Indiana. Not only was a Frank Sinatra movie once filmed here, but it is currently one of the top 8 finalists for ABC's Best Communities contest. My name is Kara Hoskins, and I am a junior at nearby Hanover College. I'm here to tell you why everyone is mad about Madison. We're going on a safari through Madison. And what better place to start than Coco Safari, a local chocolate shop downtown.
Here you can buy gourmet cream truffles, handmade marshmallows, and even chocolate-covered gummy bears.
My favorite, the dark chocolate orange truffle. Now that we've worked up an appetite, let's see what else downtown Madison has in store for us.
When you're feeling a bit blue, there's no better way to cheer yourself up than to hit the Reds. That's the Red chain of restaurants in Madison, of course. These are all owned by the same Madison family, and they are fantastic places to grab a bite to eat and catch up with friends on any day of the week. First, the Red Peppers started it all, offering signature sandwiches like the Miss Madison, soups, and a variety of pasta salads. Then, the Red Pepperoni captured up Pizza Madison's heart, contributing delicious pizzas with a wide variety of toppings and beer from local breweries. To satisfy the town's sweet tooth, they established the Red Peppermint, a frozen yogurt shop that offers special deals, fun toppings, and delicious frozen yogurt in flavors like pumpkin pie and espresso. Last on our tour of this family-owned chain is the Red Roaster. Newest of the 4 to Madison, it's the perfect spot to grab an espresso or banana nut muffin and hit the books. It's also a popular spot for both college and adult study groups.
Next, we're transported back in time. Here I am at the Thomas Family Winery, which used to be an old stable and carriage house. Live Celtic, bluegrass, and folk music fills the air on Saturday evenings. They also hold events like their annual toga party, Halloween costume contest, and Neil Young Night.
The Thomas Family Winery offers an array of uniquely flavored wines and ciders. From apple ale to Rio Red, you'll be sure to select a drink and a good time that's right for your evening and your budget. They also have a wide selection of cheeses and homemade breads to complement whatever glass you choose. Just down the street from the Thomas Family Winery is the Ohio River. The Ohio is a vital part of the history of Madison, the perfect setting for speedboat rides, festivals, or just to take in the view. The Ohio River is a beloved part of Madison's history, present, and future. Madison is connected to Milton, Kentucky by the Milton-Madison Bridge. The bridge is popular for exercise and even for dates. It's a perfect place to grab a cup of coffee from the Red Roaster and go for a romantic stroll. So whether you're looking for dinner, dessert, or a place to enjoy the beauty of nature, Madison, Indiana has it all.
All right, and welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of this soccer game between Hanover College Panthers, who are 7-1 in the Hanover Conference, and we have the Rose-Hulman Institution of Tech, the Fighting Engineers, who are also 7-1 in the Heartland Conference. Stats from the first half of the game: you got number 4, Michael Sims of Rose-Hulman, who take 2 shots. Austin Webb, number 10, who's taken 3. Lucas Kirsten, who's taken 1. And Trevor Bednark, who's taken 1 shot for the Engineers. And Turner Perkins, who's taken 1. And that would be the one goal that's on the board right now for the Rose-Hulman Engineers. It is still 0-1. And then 1 shot by Eric Easton. For Hanover, you got 1 shot taken by Will Bridgman, and 1 shot taken by a sub-in, number 16, Renato Yujushi, which gives Hanover a total of 2 shots only compared to Rose-Hulman's 9. Saves for the goalies. Rose-Hulman goalie number 23, Wright, has 1 save so far. And Hanover's goalie, William Beadle, 3 saves. Fouls for teams: we have Rose-Hulman with 6 and Hanover 5. The only cautions or warnings so far are we've got 3 yellow cards, 1 for Hanover's number 11, Mundane, and the rest for Hanover College's soccer team's team. You got 2 of them on both assistant coaches for Hanover College. Alrighty, let's continue into it as we see if Hanover can possibly get a point on the board and save themselves. Like I said, they're both tied right now for 7-1 in the Hanover Conference, with Hanover at a number 2 seed and Rose-Hulman at the number 3 seed. Right now, Hanover switching it over to the right side. Number 20. Ahead by Rose-Hulman up the middle. Hanover's defense will kick it back to safety their goalie. Hey, do we have a sub in for goalies for Hanover? No. Is that the same one? He just hasn't touched the ground. Okay. Alrighty. Got the ball on the left side of the field. The Engineers will work it up, and it will be kicked for the mid of Hanover. We got a yellow card. Time has stopped. That'll be number 6 of Rose-Hulman receiving a yellow card. It will be Rose-Hulman's first yellow card, and that will be on Will McGowan of Rose-Hulman. Hanover ball. For those just joining us, it is 1-0 with Rose-Hulman here at the Hanover Complex. In the second half, with 43 minutes. Only barely 2 minutes in the game, and we got a yellow card on Rose Hulman. Number 6, Will McGowan. Up the left side where Rose Hulman will continue. Hanover will take control, trying to up the middle by number 7. Dominic Isidore, who will pass it back. Cross it back up to Isidore, number 7, who's on the left side of the field. Trying to control the ball, trying to find somebody to cross it into. Running closely and closer to the line and fighting it, but losing it. Rose Hulman to go back to 11. Madane, who will kick it. Another head by Rose Hulman, who will just barely kick it out of bounds, saving themselves from a corner shot from Hanover on the left side of the field. There'll be no corner kick, but it'll be thrown in by number 11. Tries to control the ball. Trying to make some space from number 9 of Engineers, crossing it to the right side. Number 20 will try to cross it back to the middle, met by the head of Rose Hulman. He will kick it out of bounds on the right side of the field. Hanover continues trying to breach into the box, trying to find some way to score to tie this game up. Keep it on the right side, number 7. Often nice kick. We have a goal kick attempt that is bouncing off of one of Rose Hulman's. We'll set up for a corner kick on the right side. Number 12 will shoot it in, and another Rose Hulman defender kicking it back outside. Another corner kick on the right side. Now the corner kick off the head of one of Hanover's in the air and off the backs of several players. Oh, we have an out of bounds. Hanover ball. Rose Hulman, number 10, trying to get away with sneaking the ball out over the line and back in, but it was caught by one of the refs. Back to Hanover. Hanover's going to cross it over to the left side of the field. And now, and for those who are just joining us, these two teams are tied right now, with Hanover in the number 2 seed in the Heartland Conference and Rose Hulman number 3 seed in the Heartland Conference. Hanover was successful, tied it on the road with Rose Hulman at their field where they fight right now to see who will, if Hanover will sustain the number 2 seed or if Rose Hulman will take over it. So far, the score is 1 for the Engineers and Hanover 0. Engineers keeping it on the left side of the field, kicking it up, meeting the head, and when the Engineers, who lost it, Hanover's defense, is going to continue to keep it on the left side. Forward, working it back. Back to number 6, back to defense. 17, Miles Joseph, who will cross it. Number 2, number 20 calling for the ball. Not going to get it. It's going to go up to number 12, Hanover, but Hanover will keep it on the left side. Back to Joseph. Up the left side, missing a header, but from one of Hanover's players. But Hanover control the ball. Finally, number 20 will get it on the right side. Back to the middle, number 3 for Hanover. Petrie will lose control. Number 2 on defense. During rushing back, passing it back to the goalie, who will clear it up the left side of the field. Hanover will control the ball in the middle. Back to the right to number 12. Choose to travel up the middle, up to the left side. Continue to feed it up the middle. Well, the Engineers will intercept it, control the ball, and take it up the left side, clearing it, where it'll meet the feet of Hanover's goalie, Will Beadle. We'll pass it over to number 2, Doring. Up to number 6 of Hanover, Will Bridgman. Up to number 7, Isadori, who take a goal kick over the goal and out of bounds. It will be Engineer ball. And Engineers goalie number 23, Carter Wright, who set the ball on the right side of the field as he prepares to kick it up, straight up the middle, where the ball will meet the head of a Hanover College player, but the Engineers will keep control on the left side of the field, losing it. Hanover's defense will clear it back up to the left side, back into Engineer territory. Continue to control it. Number 7, trying to reach the feet of his midfield teammate. Number 3, Christopher Petrie. Out of bounds on Rose Hulman in their territory, but Hanover corner kick on the left side taken by number 20, Zach Barnes. Barnes will set up for the corner kick on the left side. Hanover will get ready. So he decides where exactly he's going to put it. Over the heads, and finally meeting we have an offsides call on Hanover. It will be Rose Hulman ball. Those offsides called on number 14. Goalie kick to the middle, meeting the heads of Rose Hulman. It will roll up the left side. Number 17, Joseph, trying to clear it. Calls another penalty call by the ref, calling it on number 6, Bridgman, for Hanover. Engineer ball, Hanover territory in the middle of the field as they set up and get ready. That'll be number 22, Bednark, taking the shot for the Engineers, who will kick it out of bounds on the right side of the field, and Hanover will continue to clear it, meeting the chest of number 14. Call it out of bounds after it hits the feet of one of the Engineers. It will be Hanover. Nope, out of bounds on Hanover. Rose Hulman will keep the ball, feeding it up the right side. To number 20. Hanover defense fighting and kicking it outside, back out of bounds again. It will remain the Engineers' ball. Number 5, Ethan Butler, throw it in. Number 10, Webb. Number 24, crossing it to the left side of the field. Creating some space. Hanover defense finally getting a foot on it, clearing it up the left side of the field. But Rose Hulman do their job and clear it, but it will remain Hanover ball, out of bounds, being thrown in by Hanover. Number 11, Domain. Hanover attempt to try to cross it, and it will barely reach number 20, back to number 3. Keeping them control of the ball in the territory, over the heads and straight to Rose Hulman's goalie, who will easily catch it and get prepared to clear it back up the field. Hanover just a little too much power with that kick, going over his players and straight to the goalie, who will clear it up the middle, where we'll meet the head of Rose Hulman, who will keep control on the left side, kicking up past the defenders. Hanover clearing it before Rose-Hulman can do any damage on the left, deep inside their territory on the left side of the field. It will be Rose-Hulman's ball. Someone will pass it in. We have a stop. Referee's calling to stop the clock with only 32 minutes and 18 seconds left. It will be Hanover ball. And offsides. Here we go. Beetle clearing it up the left side where it meets the head of one of Hanover's midfielders. Hanover control it. Trying to feed it up the middle, but lose it. That's Hanover's number 17, Miles Joseph, attempting to clear the ball, catching a penalty on the play. Across it back to the middle. Hanover's continue to try to penetrate up through the middle, but the ball being left alone for a second. Number 7, Hanover will recover it. Taking it to the left side of the field. Pass it back to Hanover. Number 8, back to the middle. Getting in scoring position, but no. We have the ball kicked straight up. And Rose-Hulman will take control and clear it up the right side of the field. Where number 17, coaches are on Rose-Hulman's side calling for number 17, Miles Joseph, saying that his arm did touch the ball, but the ref didn't see it. And we have a foul on number 17, Miles Joseph. Committed a foul on number 6, who was going up for the header and got hit. Be number 6, Will McGowan, who got the penalty called against Hanover's number 17, Miles Joseph. Webb will take it, kicking it to number 20 on the right side, deep in Hanover territory. Back to number 5, who will kick it straight up, trying to meet the head of... It did meet the head of one of the Engineers, but it was cleared by Hanover defense. Back to the left side of the field. Rose-Hulman gain control of the ball again. Keep it on the left side. Strong kick straight up to the goalie, where Hanover's goalie, Will Beetle, will easily catch it and clear it and wait for his men to go up the Beetle will clear it up to the middle or meet the head of one of his players, Hanover College, but it will be gained by the Engineers, who will control it up the middle of the field. The lead out for number 20. Goalie coming out of the box, and he will get to it just in time. Will Beetle will save it from the feet of the Engineers. Number 20, Kobe Ilian, who just didn't get there in time. Got a touch by number 20. He's doing it again. Number 20 back out on the right side with the ball with again, and it will be kicked out of bounds by Hanover defender number 2, Thomas Doring. Hanover's defense struggles to clear the ball, finally getting control of it. Be number 6, Bridgman, kicking up the center of the field to number 7, Isador. We kicked out of bounds by Engineers on the right side of the field. Hanover ball, number 20. We'll get ready to throw it back in. That's Zach Barnes. Number 3 calling for it. Zach will throw it up the right side of the field, met by the feet of one of his players. Pass back into number 12. Cleared to the middle. Number 8, who take a goal kick that will not go. Will go too far to the left and miss the goal completely. It'll be a goal kick on Hanover, but a nice shot. It'll be the Engineers' ball. Hanover still struggling to put some points on the board. It is still Rose-Hulman 1, Hanover 0, with 29 minutes left in the second half. For those who are just joining us, these teams are tied. We had Hanover who tied them on the road, so they are tied right now in the conference, with Hanover holding the number 2 seed in the Heartland Conference and Rose-Hulman holding the number 3 seed. Their records are both 7-1-1. We have the ref calling for a timeout. Rose-Hulman's one of their players are shooken up, and one of the plays gotten knocked down. Holding his head right now, it's number 26 versus Hulman. That would be Jaden Scott. Or no, my bad. Sorry, 26. Eric Easkin. Still waiting for Eric Easton to get up and some. He's being looked at right now on the field. He's still on the ground right now. Number 26, that's number 26 of Rose-Hulman, Eric Easton, who's shooken off in the play. They're going to walk him off the field. Coach making sure everything's all right with the ref. It looks like number 4 and number 4 will come in, or number 15, my bad. Number 15 will sub in for number 26, Eric Easton, who's been shooken up on the play. And number 14 for Rose-Hulman will be Ryan Tarr. Rain starts to fall. It's going to make it a little bit harder for both teams to control the ball. Sorry that I correct myself back there. Was number 4 was the one who came in for number 26. It was Michael Simmons coming in for Eric Easton, the one who got hurt on the last play. But we have number 15 coming in. 15 who came in for 6. So we have Chris Farcero coming in for Will McGowan. McGowan is one of the few Rose-Hulman players who do have a penalty on him right now. Coach pulling him out to prevent any more problems on the field. Oh, we've got a Hanover defense player who is protecting the ball, waiting for Will Beadle, that goalie of Hanover, to come scoop it up, who got hit on a play. Number 2 Doring. Ball remain with Hanover. We'll set it in the middle. Waiting to clear it. Ooh, a flat clear. It's going to meet the head of number 15 from Rose-Hulman, but Hanover will control the ball, clearing or crossing it over to the right side. We'll meet the feet of number 20 up to number 12. Wildrop, Hanover fighting to find their way, to find an opportunity to score, getting pass into the middle, up, stopped by the Engineers' defense. Hanover control the ball on the right side of the field. A little fight on the right side of the field, trying to attempt to clear by Rose Hulman, but Hanover will keep the ball. Now one of Hanover's players, number 20, Zach Barnes, is on the ground. Rain is not helping, making it hard to stay on your feet out here. It's slippery. It looks like he slipped. Might have hurt himself. They're pulling him up. Hobbling a bit. And right now he's getting checked on, see whether or not he will continue to play. With only 25 minutes left in the second half, we've got 3 people who have claimed who've been hurt. It's still 1 Rose Hulman and 0 Hanover. Zach Barnes got up. He's just going to shake it off. He's going to stay in the game. Oh, nope. He's going to come out. Nope. All right, nope. Zach's going to stay in the game. So number 20's all right. He just got a little shook up. He's up, and he's ready to go. It'll be Rose Hulman ball on the right side of the field with number 4, Michael Simmons, who's going to throw the ball in. He'll meet the feet of Barnes and just get past him a little bit, but he'll recover, passing it out to number 17, Joseph, who will pass it over to the left side, where we'll meet the feet of Hanover, who's going to clear it up the left side, where it will get past them and cleared by the Engineers. Meet number 15, who settle it, pass it over to the right, or cross over to the right to number 20. Feet up the right side of the field. It will be kicked out of bounds. And barely graze one of the Rose Hulman players. It'll be Hanover ball. Barnes will continue to throw it up the right side of the field, trying to meet. The ball was kept in by number 9, Korkoff. Or Corverhaven, my bad. Ball attempt to feed it to one of his players, got past him and rolled up and stopped by Rose Hulman's goalie, Carter Wright, number 23. He waits for the field to be cleared, and he'll clear it up the middle, or we'll meet the head of one of Hanover player number 3, Petrie, but back to number 20, Barnes, who will attempt to clear it up the right side. It will meet the head of a Rose Hulman player, back to number 20. Rose Hulman will contain the ball on the right side of the field, back to number 4, passing back to defense, up the right side and out of bounds. Hanover ball on the right side of the field. Barnes will throw it up, quick pass in, clear it to the middle where it will be settled. Ref getting in the way of the ball there, stopping Hanover from making a play. It will go out of bounds and continue to be. The ball will end up being kicked out of bounds by Hanover, and will be Rose Hulman's ball on the left side of the field. Back to 17, defender on Hanover's side of the field. Going to kick it back over. It was out of bounds. It'll be Hanover ball thrown in. Left side of the field to number 3, Petrie. Meet the head of one of Rose Hulman's defenders. Settled. Number 10, Webb, Rose Hulman. Number 15, heading it back to the left side. Little miscommunication there, but kept on. Rose Hulman kept the ball on the left side, keeping it from going out of bounds, trying to clear it up to number 20, who just will not be in the right place at the right time. The ball will bounce out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick, and it'll be Hanover ball on the right side of the field. It's Hanover's goalie, Will Beadle, setting up the kick. kick up on the right side, meets one of the heads of the Engineers, back to number 20. Kobe Ilian of Rose Hulman trying to find number 15, just wasn't there. Hanover's got it tied up there. Hanover's number 7 had to try to kick a lead for number 3, Petrie, who just could not get there in time. Number 2, Doring will continue to try to work the ball up the middle. Passed over to an attempt to number 15 for Rose Hulman on the left side of Hanover territory. Be recovered by Hanover, who will take it up the left side of the field, and it will be knocked out of bounds. Rose Hulman, Hanover ball. Into number 3, Petrie. Pass crossed over to number 20, Barnes for Hanover. Kick and a head attempt that was an attempt for a goal by Hanover. It was a header attempt by number 9 of Hanover. Number 9 is Tanner Corverhagen. Just too much on it. Just went over the goal. Got a drop ball penalty called on Rose Hulman in the center of the field. They'll cross it over to number 20, Barnes, on the right side. Number 12, Hanover. I am wall drop. Back to the left side. Work it way back to the middle. Lose it. But back to Hanover, still on the left side. And a shot. A nice shot. That was a shot attempted by Michael Dumaine, number 11 of Hanover. But a great save by Rose Hulman, who will clear it up the middle. Or Hanover will try to control the ball on the right side of the field. Barely, and they're going to call it out of bounds. Barely was not there in time to save it. And Zach Barnes, number 20 of Hanover, the ball will be the Engineers. Number 4 will pass it up the right side of the field. We'll meet the head of number 15, the head off of number 20, Zach Barnes. Try to control the ball and clear it. Off number 20, Kobe Ilian of Rose Hulman. It will be Hanover ball. He's going to toss up number 7. Isidore, who's going to pass it up to number 9. Corverhagen, who struggles to keep the ball. We got a call against Rose Hulman, a little roughing up there. We had drop ball penalty. It was committed to Corverhagen, who was trying to get the ball up the middle and got snagged up by an illegal snag up by one of the Engineers players. Number 6. Bridgman will set it. Kick it straight to the left side where Hanover's calling for a corner, but they're going to call it a goal kick. It's going to be Rose Hulman ball. Rose Hulman is leading 1-0 right now, and they are tied in the conference 7-1-1. Hanover tying them on the road, with Hanover at the number 2 seed and Rose Hulman number 3. Hanover controls the ball on the left side of the field. Intercepted by Rose Hulman. Rose Hulman will feed it up the left side. One of their forwards who could not control it. They'll be kicked out of bounds by Hanover. It will be Rose Hulman's ball on the left side, deep in Hanover territory. Up. And cleared over to the right side where Rose Hulman will continue to control it, fighting one defender. And we have looks like we had an offsides call against Rose Hulman. Hanover's goalie, Will Beadle, cleared up the middle or meet the head of one of Rose Hulman. Back to the feet of Hanover. Hanover header up with number 9. Corfahagen has it's in deep in, and Hanover's calling for a penalty kick, which they're not going to get it. The ref did not call an illegal rough-up inside the box. It will be Rose-Hulman's ball until they kick it out of bounds on the Hanover right side. Once again, Hanover thought they had a penalty kick inside the box, but they didn't get it. The ref said no. Ball will be thrown into Hanover's goalie. Beetle who feed it back to the right side. Out of bounds by Hanover's number 3, Petrie. Holman will meet the chest, who Rose Holman throw it up on the right side. It's on the left side. Rose Holman will continue to control it. Hanover's defender, 17 Miles, will kick it back to the goalie, who will clear it and kick it out of bounds. Nope, still keep inbounds on the left side of the field, where Hanover will try to take control. Rose Holman will almost have control up in Hanover territory, but Hanover will continue to push the ball up the left side of the field, where it was lost to Rose Holman's defenders, who was going to cross it over to the right to number 20. Attempt by number 4 trying to get a lead for his fellow teammate, number 15, but it was just too much. Scooped up by Will Beadle of Hanover's goalkeeper, who's going to clear it high up where it meets nobody in the middle of the field. Finally, a chest settled by number 7 of Hanover, Isidore. He's going to pass it into number 20, Barnes. He's going to try to feed it into the middle to number 9, Corfahagen, who just couldn't get it. He's going to be cleared out of bounds. And it is really starting to calm down with the rain here in the field. With almost only 15 minutes left in the second half, and it is still Rose Holman 1 and Hanover 0. The ball is Hanover's ball on the right side, out of bounds, getting ready to throw in by Barnes. It's number 16. The feed to number 8. Nicholas Ash, who just couldn't keep control, kicking it out. It's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be Rose Holman ball. It's Rose Holman's goalie, number 23, Carter Wright. Set it on the right side and prepare to clear it. It's going to clear sort of flat up the mid, meeting both Hanover and Rose Holman players, but it's going to be recovered by Hanover, number 12. He's going to feed it up to number 7, but cleared by Rose Holman up the right side of the field. Ooh, questionable settle by number 2, but ref's going to call it fair. Number 20, Barnes, Hanover. Back to 16. Hanover's calling for a legal. Okay, Hanover's team causing problems again with the refs. Ref letting him off lucky with a warning, telling him to watch his mouth. Hanover was upset, and they're thinking that number 16 was illegally knocked down, but there was no call. Hanover controlled the ball on the left side of the field. Crossing it to the middle. Crossing to right, back to number 16. He's going to take a shot in the middle. It's just not going to be enough. Going to bounce up. Easily caught by number 23, Carter Wright for Rose Holman. Goalie stops the ball. It was a nice save. He's going to roll it and clear it up to the right side, where it's going to meet Rose Holman head. And then clear by number 2, Doring. Number 12 of Hanover. He's going to control it and take the ball. Oh, number 7 of Hanover's trying his best to work it back to the middle, Isidore, but he could not hit it. Ball's going to be cleared by Rose Holman up the right side of the field, where we meet the chest of number 2, Doring. Cross back over to 17, a little too far back But Miles will get to it in time. Will clear it up the right side or the left side of the field. Whereas Hulman will control the ball, continue to feed it back and forth on the left side of the field, where Hanover will take possession, lose possession, and gain it back. But from their defender moving almost halfway up to the midfielder's point. Number 17 on defense, continuing to fight for the ball in Rose Hulman territory. Needs to get back, and they need that third defender. Luckily enough, we had Hanover defense who kicked it out on the left side of the field, so it gave him enough time for his defender to get back. It is Rose Hulman ball. We're almost down to 11 minutes with Rose Hulman still leading Hanover 1-0. Hanover clearing it up the left side of the field. Meets the feet number 7. Ooh. Unfortunately, Hanover is trying to stop and trying to do whatever they can to prevent the ball from going in the goal, almost scoring on themselves. But luckily, just missing the goal went out of bounds. It's going to be a right corner kick for Rose Hulman. Number 10, Alex Webbs, is going to take that corner kick. So they set up and get ready. Feeds it to the middle where it meets one of the heads of Rose Hulman, but settled out of bounds by Hanover. Will be a left corner kick, also taken by number 10, Alex Webbs. So we're going corner to corner with Rose Hulman in Hanover territory, with almost 10 minutes left in the second half, with Rose Hulman leading 1-0. Hanover's able to stop and interfere with that corner kick. It's going to go up the field with limited players in Hanover or in Rose Hulman territory. They're going to feed it up to number 9, Corvette Hagen, who lost it. It was cleared by Rose Hulman back to the right side of the field, picked up by Doring, number 2 of Hanover, calling a penalty, drop ball, a roughing up from number 6 to and a wasted ball by number Doring, who did not have his player in time to feed to. He just kicked it straight over to defense and lost it. Number 4, Rose Hulman will feed it up the right side to number 20, Illen. Hanover will feed it up number 7, who just a little too much, trying to lead number 7, Isadore, but it didn't get there in time. It bounced over and in front of them, enough time for the goalie, Carter Wright, number 23 of Rose Hulman, to pick it up and clear it back to the middle. Hanover's got possession of the ball on the right side of the field. Number 8, Ash, trying to meet his player, number 16. Will feed it to the middle. Hanover will try to control it. It'll be cleared up the left side of the field by Rose Hulman. Back to Hanover, who control it on the left side of the field still. Across to the middle. And too far forward. It just went out of bounds on the left side past the goal. It'll be a goal kick. And the ball will be Engineers' ball as the goalie. Number 23, Carter Wright, sets it up on the right side. Get ready to clear the ball. Clears it. Nice clear up, meeting the head, and a lead met by one of the feet of Rose Hulman, but the goalie, Will Beadle of Hanover, will pick it up and clear it back to the middle, meeting Rose Hulman again, but controlled by Hanover on the left side of the field. Pass up and up to the goalie, just too much mustard on that kick. Picked up again by number 23 of Rose Hulman, Carter Wright. Wait. We're getting down to 7.5 minutes left in the second half with Rose-Hulman leading 1-0. For people who are just joining us, these teams are tied in the conference with Hanover, who tied them on the road. Hanover holding a number 2 seed in the Heartland Conference, and Rose-Hulman with a number 3 seed. Rose-Hulman controlling the ball in the middle of the field. Good effort on Miles Joseph, who will slide tackle and get the ball. Pass number 16. Almost lost it. Hanover continued to control it in the middle of the field. Trying to lead. Number 9, Korfahagen, who is fighting 2 defenders in the box. And cleared. Number 2, Doring taking a shot. Oh. We had number 6, Bridgman, who slipped on the play, but Joseph, number 17, was able to recover it. He's taking it to the left side, feeding it. To number 11, Dumaine, he's going to continue to try to work the ball back to the middle. Man, we have some serious work from Hanover defender, Miles Joseph, number 17, leaving his defense. Number 11, Dane, who has to cover back on him. It's going to be lucky for them. It's going to be kicked a little too hard and scooped up by Will Beetle. He's going to roll it up to number 11, Mundane. All right, we're 5 minutes left in the second half. Rose-Hulman still leading 1-0 with these 2 tied teams in the Heartland Conference. With Hanover, the number 2 seed, and Rose-Hulman number 3, of course. If Hanover does lose, they will lose that number 2 seed to Rose-Hulman. Hanover all day struggling with controlling the ball in the middle of the field. Both teams doing okay. Nicholas Ash just took a close shot to the left corner of the goal. Unfortunately, just missing it off by a few inches. It's going to go past the goal. It'll be a goal kick, and it'll be a Rose-Hulman ball on the left side with only 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. Cleared up the left side. Over the defender of Hanover. Saved and captured by Hanover's goalie. Will Beetle before it can go any further towards the goal. He'll clear it up the left side by one of the heads of Rose-Hulman. Continue to shove the ball up the left side of the field. Finally stopped and crossed back to the center to Miles Joseph from Hanover. We'll pass it back. Feed the ball up to the left side to cross it. We will head it. They're going to get an offsides on Hanover. Number 27 of Hanover was attempting to head the ball into the goal, but he was offsides. Chuck Moore. We got Rose-Hulman clearing it up the right side of the field, meeting the head, number 10, Alex Webb. He's going to control the ball. Or Austin Webb, my bad. Hanover's going to, defense is going to continue to cross it over to the middle and clear it up the middle of the field. Number 6, Bridgman will pass it up to center, and Rose-Hulman's defense will be there to clear it up. But Hanover recaptures, staying inside engineer territory. And we have a penalty kick. Just outside the box. No penalty kick, just outside the box. But Hanover will get a chance to score here if they can. With only 3 minutes left in this final half of this game, with Rose-Hulman leading by 1 and Hanover still 0. We have number 6, Bridgman, who is probably going to take this shot. Ooh, they're calling for a hand, and Hanover's calling for a handball, saying that the ball bounced off the ground and hit one of the defenders, Rose-Hulman's hand, but the ref did not see it. He's going to call a timeout. Player's tying his shoe for Rose-Hulman. But that's okay. Gives Hanover 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second half to find the means to make a goal to tie the game and at least keep themselves the number 2 seed in the conference. Right now, Hanover is tied to Rose-Hulman. We're getting time stopped. We're getting a yellow card. Number 15 on the sidelines for Hanover just got a yellow card for talking. Hanover cannot seem to keep their mouths shut. Keep gaining the yellows. That will be Hanover College's third yellow card on their team alone. A lot of talking on the sidelines for Hanover today. Once again, people who aren't aware, yellows are warnings, but they can, with enough of them, can lead to red, which is suspension of 1 game. Rose-Hulman's ball as the goalie clears it up the middle. Lead out to Hanover's defenser with a fight. Number 10, Austin Webb, who doesn't touch it. Pass to Doring, number 2, who's going to clear it up, or will meet the feet of Illian of number 20 of Rose-Hulman, who will kick it. They're going to call out of bounds. Rose-Hulman, Doring trying to do a quick toss, and ref says that's not the right place. Got to take it back. Hanover control it on the right side of the field. Ooh, strong kick. Number 2 trying to clear it up the right side. Meets the head of number 6, Will McGowan. Number 16, Hanover will control it on the right side. Feeding it up. Will be cleared to the engineers. Number 10, Austin, with only a minute and a half left in the second half, with Rose-Hulman leading. Hanover fighting to keep the ball in Rose-Hulman territory, slowing it down with almost only a minute left. Rose-Hulman clearing it, meets the head of Joseph. Number 6, Bridgman will try to find a lead, and it'll be kicked out of bounds. They have barely a minute left to try to get this corner off in the right side of the field. Number 16 of Hanover is going to take the corner. Oh, we have a goal. We have a heading goal by Hanover with 40 seconds left. Number 7, Dominic Isidore just saved this Hanover team from losing their number 2 seed in the conference by tying the game 1-1 with 43.6 seconds left. We have a corner shot on the right side by number 16 from, or no, my bad, number. Who shot the corner? 16, Renato. Fed the corner from the right side, meeting the head of number 7, Dominic Isidore, who just barely headed it in past the goalie, tying the game 1-1. That will be Dominic Isidore's 11th goal for this season. We've got barely 20 seconds left with a quick tie from Hanover. Ooh, ball getting stirred up, seeing if with 10 seconds left. Out of bounds. Engineers ball. They try to get in with the last second left, and it will not do it. Once again, an amazing tie game with the last 40 seconds left. No. Yeah. Hanover tying the game with the last in 43.6 seconds left. That's a kick in from the right, corner kick from the right side. kicked by number 16, Renato, reaching the head of number 7, Dominic Isidore. That's his 11th goal of the season. For people just joining us, Hanover is tied with Rose-Hulman in the conference. So we're tied in the regular minutes of the game. We'll suspend as we wait. We're gonna get 10 minutes on the clock with a sudden death, which means any team to score first is the first to come out with this win. Right now we do have a tie. Like I said, anybody who's just joining us, this is Rose-Hulman and Hanover College at the Hanover College Complex. Both teams tied 7-1-1 in the Heartland Conference. We have Hanover as a number 2 seed, and Rose-Hulman is number 3 seed. We had since the first half, Rose-Hulman has been leading the game 1-0, and in the last 43 seconds of the game, we have a corner kick that was kicked by number 16 Renato by Hanover, who luckily met the head of Dominic Isidore, who just barely headed it in to the left side of the goal, getting it past the goalie, saving Hanover from losing their number 2 seed in this conference and losing the game to the Rose-Hulman. We're going to have 10 minutes set with a sudden death game. Next person to score will win this game.
There you go, run, baby.
That's a great ball.
How to get the most bang for your euro.
It means a lot more.
When are you going to tell your mom?
Let's get it on.
Thanks for joining me, Marcy.
Thank you for having me.
Hello there. At the Duggan Library, we're making vast expansions into the crazy world of cyberspace. Yes, we now provide numerous useful online resources and services. Studying for that latter course that you have absolutely no grasp on? Check out our lid guides that offer direction and information for specific major courses. Maybe even that one that you're struggling with right now. Doing a research paper? Wow! We have dozens of the best research databases in the world at the click of your mouse. Ah, And if you're away from the library, you can even chat online with one of our dutiful librarians who are here to serve you. Yes, we have a lot of books. What does this all mean, you might ask? It means that all you lazy bums out there can do this from your...
All right, welcome back. Right now we are in overtime with 10 minutes left with a sudden death game, and we got history between these two teams that I'm going to let Tyler Jester tell us about.
Overtime is usual for these two teams as they played their regular season contest just last Saturday and tied after 2 overtimes 0-0. We're here at 1-1 heading into the first overtime of this conference tournament semifinal contest. And just 2 years ago in 2015, the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference Tournament Championship was here at Hanover, where the two teams tied at the end of regulation and the 2 overtime sessions, and Rose-Hulman ended up winning on penalty kicks 4-3. So we have an exciting one here for you in store.
All right, thank you very much, Tyler. So we have 10 minutes, and like I said, it is a sudden death game, which means the first team to score a goal will go home with the win. Alrighty. Players are meeting up in the middle as the goalie prepares to put the ball down, giving it to Rose-Hulman, who will start off with the ball in this overtime 10 minutes sudden death. Alrighty. Waiting for this time to start. And here we go. Here we go. Hulman taking it straight, taking the first kick at the goal. It's going to be too high up in the right side. It's going to be an easy goal kick missed for Hanover. We'll be able to pick it up, place it on the right side, and get ready to kick it off and clear it to his teammates. The ball cleared up the right side, met by the feet of number 17 from Rose-Hulman. It'll be Hanover ball. It'll be number 11. Domain threw it in. Still on the right side with Hanover. Number 7 back to Domain. 11 up the right side. Number 7. Isadore, the one who scored the last goal in the last 43 seconds of the regular time in the last half of the game. It was his 11th goal for the season and saved Hanover from losing to Rose-Hulman, which they are tied in the conference, 7-1-1. Both teams have 7-1-1, where Hanover tied with them on the road. Hanover holding number 2 seed, and Rose-Hulman holding the number 3 seed. Rose-Hulman will control it on the right side of the field. Continue to push it, getting past Hanover's defenders twice, crossing it over to the left. And another goal kick from Rose-Hulman. So far, they are making the best attempts on this sudden death game. They could come back with a win if Hanover continues to let them get past their defense like that. Lucky for Hanover, he took the shot a little far out and didn't decide to dribble this ball a little closer. Goalie clears it. Will Beetle. Ball meets the feet of Rose-Hulman again, crossing it over to the right. A little too hard, leading to no one. Hanover's going to let this ball roll out of bounds. Another goal kick, Hanover ball. For Hanover, clearing it up. Meeting the head, number 8 of Hanover, another head, back to another head, to the foot of Hanover. He's finally going to roll and meet the feet of Rose-Hulman's goalie, Carter Wright. He's going to clear it up through the middle. Rose-Hulman will cross it to the left side of the field. Making space. Hanover defense trying to prevent them from shifting the ball closer to the middle. They're going to cross it. Getting into Hanover territory, too close. A nice little touch by Rose Hulman, who made another goal attempt. That's their third goal attempt, and it's only been, it's been halfway through this 10-minute sudden death. It was number 17 who made that goal attempt for Rose Hulman. Ryven Lacey. Hanover's going to control it for the first time in this sudden death on the left side of the field in Rose Hulman territory. But not for long, as the Engineers will continue to clear it up the left side of the field. Hanover will work the ball on the left side of the field, meeting with their heads, settling it, taking it to the middle. Kicking it in between one of Rose Hulman's defenders' feet, but picked up by their goalie, right. We have a Hanover player down on the left side of the field. Number 7 for Hanover. Going out to check out and see if his friend is okay. Nobody, it's out. It's off the field right now. So we're paused right here in the sudden death. Those who are just joining us, this is Rose Hulman at Hanover Complex taking Hanover College on. In soccer, we got a tied game. It's an overtime. Hanover tying the game where Rose Hulman led him for 89 minutes of this game. And finally, in the last 43 seconds, a corner kick from number 12, Hanover, or from number 16, Hanover Renato, who met the head of number 7, Isador, who got the ball in and tied it at the last minute of the regular time in this game right now. We have number 9, Corfahagen, who is on the field cramping, but he is up and fine. He looks okay, but he had to be taken out of the game. He waits. Or never mind, I guess they're not taking him out of the game. He's going to be fine. He's going to go back in. They continue this sudden death. Still no team. So far we have the Engineers, who are the only ones who've taken 3 shots on Hanover's goals, not successful yet. And we have another penalty on Hanover. It's going to be the Engineers' ball in Hanover territory. So far in this sudden death, Rose Hulman is the one who's controlling and taking the most attempts on goal. Hanover has yet to have 1 attempt, while Rose Hulman has taken 3. Number 10, Webb, slipping in this rain, making the field awfully hard to stay on your feet. But Rose Hulman continued to control it in Hanover territory. Crossing it over to the left side of the field, feeding it up. Up to number 20, Ilian. Hanover's defense trying their best to fight and keep them from getting it close and crossing it into the box. That'll be Rose Hulman ball kicked out of bounds by Hanover on the left side. Thrown in and met and settled by Rose Hulman. Kicked up in the air and plucked out of the air by Hanover's goalie, Will Beadle. It's number 1. He's going to clear it up the middle of the field, a high clear, meeting the head of Rose Hulman, who's going to settle it, lose it, and settle it, and lose it and cross it back to the right side of the field. Number 17 is going to do his best to carry. Stopped by Hanover. Number 11. The main, who's going to pass it. Receive it back up on the right side of the field. Hanover still controls it. First time having control near the box. That was Hanover, number 9. Corfin Hagen trying to control the ball with a slight touch, a little too powerful. It got past him, picked up by the Engineers goalie with only 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this sudden death. We have a drop ball penalty on the Engineers. Will be Hanover ball in the left side on Hanover territory. We have another drop penalty. This time on Hanover will be dropped on the left side in Engineer territory, kicked by the goalie, by the foot of number 9 of Hanover. A little too hard, rolling back into the goalie's box with nobody there but the goalie to pick it up. Goalie clears it, meets the feet of number 8 of Hanover, back where the Engineers will gain control on the right side, kicking it up. Defense, Joseph trying to clear it. Not quite. Meets the back of the head of one of the Engineers, number 17, who struggles to control the ball. It's going to be another drop ball penalty on the Engineers. It'll be Hanover College ball, and the goalie's going to come out and place it. Will Beetle get ready to clear this ball up the right side of the field for Hanover. We are almost done. We almost have 1 minute remaining in what this is a overtime sudden death. Those who are just joining us, Hanover was losing for 89 minutes of the original game, of the regular time of the game, but they did manage to score in the last 43 seconds. Dominic Isidore, his 11th score in the game, with a header from a right corner kick. Hanover College and Rose Hulman are tied in the conference, 7-1-1, with Hanover the 2nd seed and Rose Hulman the 3rd seed. Rose Hulman keeping the ball away for the last 30 seconds, crossing it to the left side, trying to score. Right now it looks like they're just doing their best to keep the ball away from Hanover. Don't want any more last few second shots. Like last time, it resulted in a tie that led into the sudden death that you are watching right now. Cleared with the last 2 seconds, and that will be done with the 10-minute overtime. Now, all right, well, that was the end. The first overtime. Hanover 1-1. players. They continue to control the ball, passing back to the defenders. Back to middle, losing it to Hanover. Who's going to feed it. Back up to number 12 of Rose Hulman, who's going to clear it over to the left side of the field and pass it up. Continue to push it to the middle. Hanover will do its best to take control of it on the left side. They're going to feed it up to an attempt, but he slipped. The field is still very wet from the rain. Still very cold. It's a deflection by by Zach Barnes, number 20 of Hanover, is going to kick it out of bounds on the right side of the field. Hanover ball.
It goes for the record. It just goes like
Be thrown in by number 4. They're going to get another drop ball penalty against Hanover. Austin Webb will take it on the right side of the field. We're about halfway through this second overtime sudden death. Headed by Hanover, cleared. Met by the foot of Rose Hulman. Kicked a little too hard, cleared it over the right side of the field. It'll be Hanover ball. Number 9 will come in as substitute for number 14. That'll be Tanner Korfahagen coming in for Ryan Keeney. A toss in, met by the foot of Rose Hulman. Control it and cross it over to the left side of the field. Hulman controlling the ball, crossing it back over to the right. Number 20, stutter step past Hanover, working it. Finally, interception by Hanover, and a feed up to number 9, Korfahagen, who can't get there in time. It's going to be kicked and out of bounds by Rose Hulman in Rose Hulman territory on the right side of the field. Barnes will be prepared to throw it in to number 6, Bridgman. Pass back to Bridgman, who settle it deep on the right side, trying to cross it over into the middle field. He's going to pass it back to Barnes, who will cross it to the center. Still settled and controlled Hanover. All right. We have an attempt shot, but it was headed by one of the Engineers players. It's going to be a corner taken by Zach Barnes, number 20, on the left side of the field. A corner kick on the left side with only 3.5 minutes left in this second sudden death. It's going to be a goal kick. Goal kick by Hanover. Number 6, Bridgman, who's trying to control the ball and settle it. Try to work its way to the goal, but did not have enough time to settle it. The goalie, Carter Wright for Rose Hulman, will clear it. The right side, number 20. Who pass it back, number 4. Who lead up the right side, where it will be deflected and kicked by Hanover. It'll be Hanover ball on the right side of the field in Rose Hulman territory. Number 20. Feed it up. Number 12 ahead it. Number 9 will settle and take control of the ball, crossing it over to the left side of the field. Just too hard of a touch by Hanover. Will lose the ball back to Rose Hulman. Up the center of the field, number 10, Austin Webbs, who will continue to control the ball. Intercepted by number 20, Barnes, by Hanover. Up the center. Hanover and the Engineers still fighting to see who can control the ball in this last minute and a half of the second sudden death. A clear by number 3, Petrie of Hanover. It's going to be Rose Holman ball in the right side of Hanover territory. Another deflection by number 12, Hanover. Ball drop. He's going to knock it out of bounds. Holman will throw it in. I'll meet the head of their number 6. Will McGowan, with 1 minute remaining, will be Hanover ball on the right side of the field. They're going to throw it up, still in Hanover territory. Met by Bridgman, who will clear it up to the left corner. Met by Azador, who slips and falls before he can settle and control the ball. Off the back of a Hanover player. Some more slipping and falling. Bridgman's going to feed it. Last 30 seconds. With the last 20 seconds, they're going to try to set up a corner in time. Got about 15 seconds left to try to get the corner shot on the left side. That's going to be 10. Ooh, a good attempt. Hanover, nice shot in from the left corner. It just wasn't enough. There was somebody in the right place at the right time for Rose Holman.
It's already set up for shootout, so if you start another period.
All right, after the second overtime, we're going to a shootout between the two teams.
You know what you're doing, right?
And then if somebody scores, do I just say goal by?
Both teams, Nick.
Come down with me? Or do I even announce it? If somebody scores, do I say goal by so-and-so? Okay.
All right, and we are back. We have been through.
Dominic Isidore.
What was it saying, Isidore?
Just in case his grandma's listening.
Alrighty, welcome back. We are here after 2 overtimes. And Hanover saving themselves in the last 43 seconds of the regular time in the game. We are finally to penalty kicks. The way penalty kicks is we're going to have 5 players from each team shooting one after another. Team with the most kicks will win. For those who are just coming in, this is Hanover College versus Rose Hulman. They are tied in the Conference 7, 1-1. Hanover tying them on the road. Hanover holding the number 2 seed and Rose Hulman holding the number 3 seed. We're going to start off. Hanover won the coin toss, so they are going to start off kicking first with number 7, Dominic Isidore. Oh, first penalty kick good for Hanover. Number 7, Dominic Isidore will make the first PK for Hanover, giving him the leg up 1-0 so far. Number 16 of Rose Hulman, Davis Farrell. A weak PK, but it is good. It'll tie it 1-1. So far we are tied. Next shooter for Hanover will be number 2, Thomas Doring. And there will be a block by Rose Hulman. So now it is 1-1 with Rose Hulman coming up for the next penalty kick. Next, it will be Austin Webb, number 10 from Rose Hulman, taking his PK. Once again, the way this works is we get 5 players from each team who get to kick 1 PK. The team with the most PKs will win this match. Rose Hulman will score. Rose Hulman will score that PK. Number 10, Austin Webb, putting them in front of Hanover 2-1. Next shooter for Hanover's PK will be number 16, Renato Yostusi. Yasui. Renato Yasui, number 16 for Hanover, did make the shot. It is tied 2-2 with Hanover behind Rose Hulman by 1 kicker. Number 5 for Rose Hulman will make his kick as well. So now that's going to keep them in front 3-2. That was number 5, Ethan Butler from Rose Hulman. Here comes Hanover's number 8, Nicholas Ash, to make his PK to tie them, hopefully. And he will. PK is tied 3-3, but with 1 kicker ahead of Hanover, their goalie does have to make a stop. Goalie in the box, Will Beadle, number 1 for Hanover. Oh, and number 5. Kick off the post for Rose Hulman. They'll tie them up in this PK battle, with each team having 3 with 1 man remaining, or 2 men remaining. And a save by Rose Hulman will get them. We'll have a final kicker for Rose Hulman. That final kick was by number 11 of Hanover. Michael Dumaine missed his PK, and this will be the last kick for Rose Hulman. If he does score, Rose Hulman will come away with the win. And that win, PK was good. But number 24, Perkins, the only one to score during the regular minutes of the game. This match will belong to Rose Hulman, moving them up into the number 2 seed in the conference with a 8-1-1, and Hanover College with a 7-1-2, sinking to the number 3 seed in the Heartland Conference. Well, thank you for watching this game here at Hanover College Complex. It was Hanover College versus Rose Hulman. Final score will be 1-1 in the regular game, with a victory for Rose Hulman in PKs.